Good morning, everybody. Drew Griffin here with and on behalf of the Tri-County Area Chamber of Commerce. Super excited to be hanging out today with a special guest and my co-host. My co-host is Bill Vitiello of the Victory Bank. And we've got a special guest today, Lauren McCloskey of the Patriot Environmental Management Company here in Pottstown. Super excited to have both of you on. Good morning to both of you. How are you?
Morning.
Good morning. Happy that it's sunny.
Finally, right? All kinds of crazy weather going on and past the niceties here. How's everyone doing and dealing with the whole quarantine thing?
I think I'm okay, actually. As long as I can get out, walk, exercise, get outside as much as possible, then I'm okay. We seem to be working well at Patriot too. Everybody's home and no big glitches yet.
That's awesome. Well, gladly everybody is safe and sound and doing their part for this whole social distancing thing. But that's not what we're here to talk about today. We are here to talk about Lauren and Patriot Environmental. So, Lauren, why don't you bring us up to date? Lauren is the business operations manager for Patriot Environmental. Is also a geologist. Which we're not going to get into too much today, but has a great deal of experience. And why don't you bring us up to speed? Kind of tell us a little bit about what Patriot Environmental Management actually does, and maybe where you're located. Kind of bring us up to speed.
Okay. Well, we've been in business since 2004. Recently, in July, it'll be 2 years. Moved to Brown Street in Pottstown, down near Sanatoga, near the Landis and Liberty Thrift.
Okay.
Right around there. Just celebrated 16 years in business in March. Yay.
Congratulations.
That was an awkward clap. Sorry.
Yeah, that's okay. We do a whole host of things. I can touch on some of the points. Phase 1 and Phase 2 environmental site assessments. A lot of times when a bank lends on a commercial property, they want us to do a Phase 1 to assess any environmental liability to make sure there aren't any huge problems. Sometimes that will parlay into some sampling to sort of ascertain the extent of contamination if there is that. We do underground storage tank management. We'll manage on behalf of insurance companies. If there's a spill in someone's basement, we'll manage that project, take care of that. And we also do groundwater resource development for hog farms and chicken farms to make sure that the livestock have the water that they need.
I can see that would be quite important, right? Because working with these types of farms and they're producing food and there's just all kinds of ramifications if that groundwater and whatnot is contaminated, right? If you've got livestock and you've got these farms that are the byproduct of which is feeding into the community. And clearly, if there's issues with the ground and the soil and whatnot, that could provide a disruption, if you will. Is that correct?
In some ways, our senior geologist, Andy and Hudson, our owner, they are the ones that will design and develop the wells, ascertain where a fracture will be so that we're able to get enough water for the chickens, for the hogs. So we're not really that shallow.
Okay.
So it's more, 300, 400, 500 feet deep. So we are right now essential because of that. We have some projects that are essential.
Yeah, that's good to know. This is very interesting. I had no idea, the background and the insertion of what that sort of business does and the impact for local businesses, regional businesses. Now, does Patriot Environmental just work with businesses in and around the Pottstown area, the Tri-County area? Tell us a little bit about that background.
Actually, no. I mean, we obviously have a lot of experience in the area. This is where we've been, but we are all the way up and down the East Coast, Indiana. We actually have sites in Brazil and Sweden that my boss works on. So there's really anywhere that we don't go. Interesting.
This is interesting. So now we're right in the midst of this pandemic, and there's certainly you're involved with lots of businesses, both locally, regionally, up and down the East Coast, even probably in the central part of the states, and even internationally. From the essential side of things, how has business been? You guys are still operational. A lot of the world seems to be shut down right now, but clearly you guys are still doing things.
I mean, of course, there's been a reduction in some of our work. Some sites we have to visit, but we can't go there because it's not essential. But we still do have a fair amount of projects for clients that are essential. So we're managing that the best that we can. None of us are in the office. We're all working from home. But we're really able to maintain our level of work, the work that we have. We're doing the best that we can.
That's all we can do, right? I mean, lots of businesses have been impacted. Now, I know that you do a lot of work with the Chamber of Commerce yourself, right? You're an ambassador for the Chamber, as is Bill.
Yes.
Bill is the host of Chamber Chat, which is the Tri-County Area Chamber of Commerce's podcast. Has done a great deal. Bill, why don't you speak a little bit about that, and maybe both of you can bounce back and forth about ambassadorship and some of the great work that you both do for the Chamber of Commerce.
Yeah, so first of all, I want to say it's a pleasure seeing you, Lauren. It's been a few months since we connected, so
I miss you guys.
I know, right? Yeah, someday we'll be able to shake hands again. Well, maybe not. Who knows?
High five in the air.
Yeah, there you go. And Drew, thanks for hosting this. So tell you a little bit about the Chamber Chat. Chamber Chat is something we started at the beginning of last year, and it was just an opportunity to bring the podcast platform to the Chamber membership. And it really is an open invitation to any member of the Chamber who would like to come on and talk a little bit more about their business, but even talk about themselves too. It's always interesting to hear some of the backstories on how somebody got a business started, or maybe what things have been really successful for them and what things they find, challenging. And, it's always funny. And I wanted to, ask you, Lauren, it's always funny when some people are like, oh, I don't want to come on the podcast because, I'm afraid of the interview and I'm not comfortable on the mic and so on and so forth. Can you this is completely unsolicited, but can you just tell everybody about your experience when you were on the podcast?
Of course I was nervous. From the beginning, you're nervous about what you're going to say, if it's going to be the right thing, the wrong thing. But the way that you interview, it's sort of like a more casual conversation. And we just talk about what we know, who we are. And I had a wonderful experience, and so did my boss. So I would really recommend it to everyone. Like you said, it's free. Why wouldn't you want to do it?
Yeah, and I appreciate the compliments, but it's easy for me to conduct an interview with people who are open to at least being on the podcast. Again, it's just a conversation. It's funny because we usually send a list of questions out that I'm going to ask before the guests come on. I don't ask any of them. I mean, they're all just ones you should know the answer to anyway. And again, it just winds up being a conversation. So, appreciate you being a guest. How you holding up at home over there?
Like I said, we're okay. Projects. We got a dumpster and cleaned the yard out, cleaned everything out. I'm sure everybody's doing this. Soil, mulch, just little projects around the house. I would say cleaning, but
Are you taking on any hobbies? You or anybody in the house taking on any hobbies?
Some puzzles, but it's been hard to get those because everybody's ordered those. I just ordered some projects that I'm going to pick up from AR Workshop in Gilbertsville, like, the wood painting. And fortunately, my CrossFit gym is streaming 5 workouts a day. So I'm still getting up at 6 o'clock in the morning and working out, trying to keep a sense of normalcy, so that when we get back to real life, I really just have to fill back into going to work.
Yeah, I was going to ask you that actually, if they were providing some sort of workout for you. Like you, I'm actually up at 5:15 every morning, just trying to keep my immune system strong and
Yes.
keep exercising. Like you even said too, going out, taking walks, being outside. It's all good for the soul right now, for sure. So
It is. It's nice to see people out around the neighborhood. You don't even know them and they're waving to you. It's just this,
Yeah.
sense of community.
Yeah, it's definitely different. And then I think it's great too. You said you were supporting small business, that place in Gilbertsville. What's the name of it again, please?
It's called AR Workshop. They're on Swamp Pike. You go there, you make wood projects, you paint them for your house. So now you can order online and pick a time and they'll leave it outside for you to pick up. So I'm going to pick that up on Friday and do that over the weekend.
No, nice. Yeah, and it's great that you're supporting small business, especially around this time. In fact, I was speaking with several people who said when they were getting their stimulus check, they're actually going to take a portion of it, if they can do it, and just put it right back into their community, right back into Main Street, right back into small business, rather than kind of keeping it in their savings account. I know everybody's situation's a little bit different, but I thought that was great. All together we'll help bring this thing back as quickly as possible, right?
Oh, absolutely. I think, what is everybody saying? When we're allowed back out, we're going to eat out every single night for a month.
We're gonna be waiting 2 hours for tables, and you know what? We're all gonna like it.
Oh, absolutely. I mean,
like
I try to take out now, so it's exciting to see everybody. I know through the chamber a lot of small business owners, that own restaurants, and I just want to see them survive and get through this. You know the people, and you really like them. And so you want to help as much as you can.
Yeah. So now you say your business is still essential. So you guys are still open. Are you going into the office at all? Or are you just working remotely?
I'm working remotely, pick up mail kind of stuff, but I really try to minimize that. I'm sure everybody who owns a business has to pay the bills, has to pick up mail, but I'm not, I'm working from home every day pretty much.
Yeah.
And it's weird because I'm working all hours too. It's not just your 8 to 5. It's like I might be doing stuff at 8 o'clock at night, which typically I don't do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and the same thing with me too. As some of the folks may know, I work for the Victory Bank, and we're kind of neck deep right now in the SBA PPP loan applications. We're trying to navigate that. So again, I'm getting emails at all hours, just trying to navigate customers and prospects through the process. And it's definitely been different. It's an interesting time for sure. So
yeah, I see a lot of people. We still our Rotary meetings every Wednesday night through Zoom. Like I said, my workout through Zoom. So Zoom is like the new happy hours, games. That's what everybody's doing now.
Speaking of help and some interesting things happening, our fearless leader, Eileen, over the Tri-County Area Chamber of Commerce, placed some good comments here in the thread. Eileen is watching now and has offered up comment during today's show if you'd like to be a guest in our future Facebook Live. We would love to help tell your story. Lauren has been an amazing guest today to come on, tell us a little bit about what's going on with her and Patriot Environmental Management there in Pottstown. And listen, thank you to Eileen, because I know that Eileen is doing an amazing job behind the scenes. I'm getting a bunch of emails, and she is tirelessly informing a lot of the constituency of the chamber about this whole deal, like what's going on with COVID, where to go and apply for your SBA loans, just updates after updates after updates. And I know that lots of businesses have been impacted by this, and fortunately, a lot of people are getting some relief from the government in the form of stimulus checks, in the form of loans and whatnot. Bill, how's the atmosphere at the bank?
Yeah, it's pretty hectic. We're seeing our annual loan volume. We've seen that same amount of applications just in the last, 10 days or so. Mm-hmm. So it's overwhelming for any financial institution right now. And then to add on top of that, we're receiving word that the SBA is likely to cut or run its cap on funding for this particular program. So we're relying on Congress to hopefully put another 250 billion. I say it like it's a small amount, but right, yeah, 250 billion.
Right. And that's just for me. That's just
right,
for me.
just for you. So it's challenging, and there's folks that need the money right now, and we're going through the application process, and to deliver the message that there may not be funding available for them is tough, but again, hopefully Congress will provide this extra funding, but I would say anybody out there who has any type of application in with their financial institution, please be patient with them, because we are dealing with a volume like we've never ever seen. In fact, I just read the memo from the SBA yesterday. They funded 14 years of SBA lending in 14 days.
Wow.
That just kind of gives you the scope of what we're dealing with.
That's staggering. The numbers is just, we've never seen anything like this. And it's unprecedented times. But the average business, the average person, the average citizen, it looks like everybody's doing their part. They're for the most part, staying, doing the social distancing thing. I know that everyone's stir crazy, including myself, who all typically works from a home office anyway. It's hard, right? We need to get out every once in a while. And, Lauren, you've got some great suggestions. Get out there on a day-to-day basis, get some exercise in, do a little bit of change of scenery, maintain that social distancing, that sort of thing. And this goes for all business owners too, right? In order for you to maintain your business, you still need to remain healthy, and daily exercise is part of that equation. So I'm excited. I'm thrilled and privileged that both of you have joined us today here. Any parting words before we jump offline here? Let's first plug both of your institutions. Lauren, why don't you start first? Where can people find out more information about Patriot Environmental?
PatriotEnviro.com is our website that Drew just helped us with. So take a look at his work. We're right there, and our phone number's on there. You can email us, you can call us. We are responding, so we'll be there for you.
My personal request for everyone that's watching this, head over to Patriot Environmental's Facebook page, give them a like, right? I mean, it's a very, very easy thing to do. Drop by their website as well, patriotenviro.com, and give them a wave. Say, let them know that you saw their Facebook Live. Lauren was brave enough to jump in and join us this morning. Hopefully we didn't throw too many hard questions at you, but you are certainly welcome back any time that you want to, here on Tri-County Area Chamber of Commerce's page, in future Facebook Lives, as well as the podcast as well. And Bill, sorry to kind of take over the host position here on the Facebook Live. Why don't you fill in and tell everybody a little bit more about Victory Bank, where people can find you, as well as the podcast.
Yeah, no, it's fine. We work well together, and I appreciate that relationship. So, and I also wanted to say that I was on Patriot's website this morning, because I was just poking around there a little bit, and I'm like, do I have the right website? Like, this thing is really slick. You guys did a nice job together. You really did.
Love it.
There's a lot of collaboration there. Yeah, it was really cool. It definitely was an upgrade from your last one, which was great. But again, I'm from the Victory Bank. I'm the institutional and business development manager there. You can find us at victorybank.com. We are located right off of Lewis Road in Limerick, right off of 422 there. So feel free to reach out. Certainly, up for a conversation. If you want to inquire more about what we have to offer as a financial institution, definitely happy to have that conversation with you. So thanks for the opportunity, Drew. And Lauren, it was great to see you as always.
Good to see you. And I do want to thank Eileen again and everybody at the Chamber with all of the information in the emails. She talked about grants today that I didn't even know about. She's always amazing, but she's even more amazing getting us through this.
Eileen, it's been fantastic. And one more thing there, Bill, why don't you tell everybody a little bit more about the Chamber chat and how they might be able to participate in the podcast?
Yeah, so the chamber chat, if you're interested in becoming a guest, you can send us a email at podcast@tricountyareachamber.com. That's podcast@tricountyareachamber.com. Traditionally, we've done the interviews at the chamber office, but we are exploring some opportunities to maybe do it remotely while everybody is still at stay-at-home order here. So again, if that's something that you would like to do, please connect with us, podcast@tricountyareachamber.com. If you haven't listened to Chamber Chat before, please do. Please download the episode. You can find it on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Anchor. I don't know, there's like 7 or 8 different platforms, but Apple seems to be, I think 70% of our audience listens on Apple. So that's probably your best platform. But thank you in advance for listening. And I hope to, if you're a chamber member, I hope to be able to talk with you soon.
Thank you to both of you for hanging out today. And listen, to everybody that's watching this or listening to this later, if you are a local business owner or you obviously work for a business and you think that the chamber can provide value to you, we certainly invite you to reach out to the Chamber of Commerce to inquire about membership. If you're already a member, we would love to feature you here on a future Facebook Live as well as within the podcast. If you work for a local business or know of a local business, it's a fantastic way to support those businesses by listening into those episodes, learning a lot more about those businesses and how you might be able to provide back to the community. We invite you to reach out to the chamber or message us below here. Just comment below if you're interested, raise your hand, and we will work out a way to get you onto a future Facebook Live. This is our way of kind of giving back and giving some exposure back to your business, your website, that sort of thing, to let the general public and residents in and around the Pottstown area, the Tri-County area, know a lot more about your business. We're going to be doing some things to help promote your business, and this is a great way to do it. We would love to talk to you, learn more about your products, more about your services, and of course your business, and the impact that you're making inside the Pottstown and the Tri-County area. So on behalf of the Tri-County Area Chamber of Commerce, my name is Drew Griffin. My guests today have been Lauren McCloskey of the Patriot Environmental Management Group in Pottstown, and Bill Vitiello of the Victory Bank, as well as Chamber Chat. So enjoy the rest of the day. Please be safe out there, and we can't wait to see you on a future episode. Talk to you guys soon.
Thanks. See you later.
See you guys.